everyone, and happy Friday, and welcome to our Friday Feeling. So, today we're going to be talking a lot about things that are coming up in the next week. Do any of you know what next week is? Let me give you some hints. It is not Halloween, it is maybe some of your birthdays, but next week, altogether, we are going to be celebrating the week of respect. So I want to pause for a moment and I want you to think about what the word respect means. Just think about it for yourselves. What does it mean to have respect for someone or respect for something? You don't have to say it out loud. Just kind of think it over in your mind for a minute. In fact, I have a challenge for you. Can you come up with any other words that we might use for the term respect? So what's another word or phrase that you could say when talking about respect? Sometimes we might think of respect as using our manners, which is an important one. Sometimes we might think of respect as being kind to others, which is another important one. Sometimes we might think of respect as being caring to those around us, or accepting of those around us, or listening might be another word for respect. When we listen to other people and what they're asking us to do, especially at school, that might be a good way for us to show respect. Next week, I'm going to give each of you a special challenge. I believe it might change between now and then, but my plan for right now, and sorry if it's a little loud, there's a plane flying overhead. I thought we'd do this one outside to kind of switch things up a little bit, change the environment, change what you're looking at, even if you still have to be looking at me. So next week, my plan right now is for each classroom to get one of these, this little heart here. Now, the one that I cut out today is red, but for next week, we have all different colors, and each color is going to go along with your house color. So if you are in the mammal house, you're going to get a red heart next week. If you're in arthropods, you'll get yellow. If you're in fish, you'll get blue. Reptiles, green. And birds, you'll get orange. So every house is going to have a different color heart. And every house is actually going to have a different assignment with what they're going to use these hearts for. What I want to do, and I'll send out all this info to teachers next week so that you know what your class needs to do. What I want you to do is, with each heart, every color is going to have a different assignment for a place where we can show respect. I'm not making much sense. Let me be clearer. So what I mean by this is, let's say if mammals, because I have a red one, mammals might be asked to write down or draw a picture of ways that you can show respect at school. And so mammals, your assignment would then be to write down, or if you're in kindergarten or first grade, to draw a picture of how we can show respect at school. So maybe it would be listening to your teachers, or maybe it would be cleaning up after ourselves in the classroom. Someone else, a different house, is going to have a different place. So arthropods, and these are just examples, they're not definite ones. I'll send the list out next week. But arthropods, maybe your challenge will be to write on your yellow hearts how you can show respect at home. And so you're going to talk about all the ways that you could show respect to others at home, that you can help maybe your parents or your grandparents or whoever we live with, how you can be respectful of them, or maybe how you can be respectful of your brother or sister, even if they annoy you sometimes. So each house will have a different color heart, and each house will have a different place that we're going to talk about the ways that we can show respect to each other, the ways that we can be respectful. When I think of respect, I think of a few different things. I think of respect for others, which I always associate with, I always think of with the word kindness. So I think if we are treating each other's with kindness or treating them kindly, then we're going to be showing respect to other people. Another way I think of respect is respecting our things or other people's things. And this is a big one at school especially, because we might have a laptop that the school gave us, or we might be borrowing a crayon from our friend, and we want to be respectful of other people's things, or your teacher's things in the classroom. If they give you a book, we're making sure we're not ripping it up. We're trying to take good care of things that people trust us with. So we have other people that we're respectful to, things that we're respectful to, and the last one I can really think of, I lied, there's two more. Another thing that we could be respectful to is the world, our earth, right? The environment. So what are the ways that we can show respect to our environment? Not polluting, not littering, trying to recycle. Those are all great ways to show respect to this place that we call home, this really important, beautiful place. And then the last one, for real this time, last place that we can show respect, last person that we can show respect to is ourselves. Showing ourselves respect, using kind words when we talk to ourselves, just like we would for talking to other people. We want to be respectful of ourselves as people. So those are all the different things that we can think of when we're talking about this term respect, which you're going to hear a lot about next week. When I think of respect, I also think of another word that we talked about in our Panther Pride meeting a few weeks ago. And it was our Student of the Month trait for the month of September. Do you remember it? Can you say it as a class? I'm hoping you're saying empathy. Can we all say empathy? Can you say empathy? All right. So empathy. When we're practicing empathy, we are automatically showing respect for others. If we have empathy for another person, then we're going to be showing them kindness. We're going to be showing them respect. Remember, empathy means trying to understand how someone else feels, even if it's not happening to you. If you see someone else having a tough day, they're feeling really sad because something happened to them at home that made them sad, or maybe they got into a fight with a friend and it made them sad, or maybe they were really nervous about taking a test and that made them sad. Even if you're feeling great, you're like, I'm having an awesome day, I feel really good. You can have empathy by thinking about how your friend feels in that moment. And we can practice empathy by caring for others, by looking out for one another when we are having those tough moments, when we are feeling sad or angry or frustrated or confused or lonely, all of those uncomfortable feelings. So if we're practicing empathy, then we're really practicing respect. All of that being said, I wanted to go over with you our spirit days for next week for Week of Respect. So I'm actually going to bring them up right now so you can kind of look at them. So on Monday, we have Blue Up for World Day of Bullying Prevention. So that means all across the world, kids just like you and grown-ups just like me are going to be wearing blue to say that they are standing up against bullying. Tuesday, Dare to Be Different. I love this day. Wear mismatched clothes to celebrate our differences. So on Tuesday, you can wear whatever you'd like. It can be totally mismatched. And it's to celebrate what makes us all different and unique. Wednesday, put a cap on bullying. So easy one, wear some kind of hat on your head. Thursday, one of my favorite ones. Thursday, put bullying to bed. And we all get to wear our pajamas. Such a great day, so comfortable. And Friday, we all belong at LPES. So you can wear Lincoln Park swag, like your Lincoln Park gear, or you can wear our school colors, red and yellow, or you could just wear one of them. Wear red, wear yellow, whatever you have at home. My friends, these spirit days, they're always fun for us to do, and we always love dressing up for them. But also, if you don't have it exactly and you just try your best to dress like the spirit day, that's okay too. Don't worry about it. The point is that we're thinking about these concepts, or thinking about these important things like all of us belonging, or accepting each other's differences, or trying to stand up against bullying. Some really important topics that we'll be talking about more next week. So today, I know I shared a book with you last week, and I hope you don't mind. We're going to do 2 in a row. I try and switch things up and not have too many books or too many breathing techniques or things like that. But I really love this book for Week of Respect, and I think it's such a great book, and I don't think I did it last year. So I thought I'd share it with you all. This book is called One, and it's written by Catherine Otashi. And I love this book because it really helps us understand what bullying is, and it really helps us understand how people can sometimes act as bullies. And there's a real difference, too, before I get into this book, between people being mean and people being bullies. And we'll see a bit of that in the book. When someone is a bully, it means that they are making fun of a specific thing about us. Maybe our hair color, maybe the clothes we wear, maybe the language we speak, the color of our skin, the games that we like to play, the sports team that we're on. They're picking out a specific thing and teasing us about it. That is what bullying is. When kids are just kind of saying mean things like, I'm trying to think of one that's appropriate to say on here. But when we're saying mean things to each other, that's a little different than bullying. It's still not okay, and it's still not the right thing to do. But it's a little different than when we're talking about that word bullying. Anywho, let's go ahead and read the story One by Katherine Otoshi together. Blue was a quiet color. He enjoyed looking up at the sky, floating on waves, and on days he felt daring, splashing in rain puddles. Every once in a while, he wished he could be more sunny like yellow, or bright like green, or more regal like purple, or outgoing like orange. But overall, he liked being blue, except when he was with Red. Red was a hothead. He liked to pick on Blue. Red is a great color, he'd say. Red is hot. Blue is not. Then Blue would feel bad about being blue. Sometimes Yellow comforted Blue. Blue is a very nice color, she'd say. But Yellow never said that in front of Red. She never said, "Stop picking on Blue." Green, purple, and orange thought Blue was nice too, but they never told Red to stop either. Every time Red said something mean and no one spoke up, he got bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh my goodness. Getting huge. Soon, Red grew so big that everyone was afraid of him. No one dared stop him. Red picked on all the colors. Then everyone felt a little bit blue. Until One came along. He had a different shape, with bold strokes and squared corners. He was funny. He made the colors laugh. Red saw this and got very hot. "Stop laughing," he told Yellow. "Stop laughing," he told Green. "Stop laughing," he told Purple and Orange. And they did. Red rolled up to One. "Stop laughing," he told him. But One stood up straight like an arrow and said, "No." Red was mad, but One wouldn't budge. So Red rolled away. One turned to the colors and said, "If someone is mean and picks on me, I, for one, stand up and say no." Then Yellow felt brave and said, "Me too." Green agreed and said, "Me 3." Purple became 4, and Orange became 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue saw the colors change. He wanted to count. Red grew hot. He felt left out. He grew hotter and hotter and hotter. What do you think they mean by hotter? Do you think it means actually getting hot, like hot to touch? Or do you think maybe it means an emotion, like angry? Red raced over to Blue and said what he always did. "Red is hot, Blue is not." But this time, Blue stood up tall and became 6. "Red can be really hot," he said, "but Blue can be super cool." Red blew a fuse and tried to roll over Blue. But everyone took a stand and said, "No!" 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seeing them all standing tall made Red feel very, very, very small. Then Red turned even redder and began rolling away. Blue called out, "Can Red be hot and Blue be cool?" Red stopped in his tracks. "Red can count too," said one. Red rocked and rolled and soon turned into 7. "Everyone counts," they shouted. Then Red laughed and joined in the fun. Sometimes it just takes one. And that, my friends, is the end of our story, 1. So I know it might have been a little confusing because it's about, in the beginning, just colors, and then those colors turn into numbers, right? And at the very beginning, when Red was first picking on Blue, was anyone else standing up against Red? Was anyone telling Red to stop? No. If you remember, another term we learned at our Panther Pride meeting the other week was being an upstander, right? We talk about our Jets upstanders. They're people who get our Jets tickets once a month. Our Jets upstander for the month of September was my friend Rosabella in 4th grade. And being an upstander means you stick up against people who are doing things that are mean. It means you stick up against those who are being bullies, or those who are saying mean things even if they're not bullying, or those who are just being rude to others. That's what it means to be an upstander. So who was the upstander in our book? Do you remember? I'll give you a hint. Their name is on the title of this book. Their name is the title of this book, I should say. It was 1. All the other colors were terrified of Red. They were afraid to stand up to him until 1 came along and started to stand up for what's right. 1 was an upstander, telling Red to stop being so mean to Blue. And suddenly, all the other colors joined in too. When they joined in and stood up for what's right, they turned from just being colors to being numbers that counted, people that counted, because they were standing up for what's right. And if you notice at the end, when they finally stood up to Red, and they said, "Can Red be hot, but Blue also be cool? Can both of us be okay with who we are?" Then at that moment, Red changed into one of the numbers also, because he finally learned he didn't have to pick on other people to make himself feel better. He could be kind. He could be respectful of those around him and make friends instead. So that is our story of the week to kick off Week of Respect starting on Monday. Next week, I really want you to be thinking about that word upstander and what it means. It's not always easy to be an upstander. It's not always easy to stand up against those who are being mean. Sometimes it can be a real challenge because we might be afraid that they're going to be mean to us. Or maybe they're really cool kids and we don't want to feel embarrassed by standing up to them for things that they're doing that they shouldn't be doing. But when we're upstanders, it means that we're being respectful and kind to others in a way that is so important. So I challenge each of you, my LPES friends, to be on the lookout next week for moments that you can be upstanders. Even if people aren't being mean to each other, even if someone's not saying something mean to another kid, look around you at lunch, at recess, at snack time. Notice maybe who are the kids that don't have someone to play with. Maybe who are the kids that are a little bit shy. Maybe who are the kids that are a little bit left out. And see if you can be an upstander in the way that you can include them, in the way that you can invite them to come and join you, or just talk to them about their day. It doesn't take a lot to be an upstander. It just takes a little bit of courage and a lot of kindness. So my LPES friends, happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and I can't wait to celebrate with all of you for next week, week of respect. Stay kind, LPES. Bye.